Hey there everybody, my name is Heretoga and welcome back to our Tile Wars project. This is a short creative mode series where we just relax and do some chiseling together, designing this Tile Wars game in peace, so we don't have to worry about hunger or temporal storms or anything like that. And at the moment we are working on the Grass Biome Deck, and if I get up on my feeties, and for all you newcomers, I'll show you what we've been up to already. So we have some different types of tiles going on here, and each player takes it in turns placing down a tile, and you basically build up a world scoring points every time you place down a tile, and you can rotate them as well using the chisel. So every player will have a chisel. So what we've got here, we have the blank open plains tile. This is the blueprint for all the other tiles that we make for the grass deck. So if we take a look in here, there are all the textures added to this tile. So we've got all the different dirts. We've got terra preta, forest flooring, meteorites, muddy gravel and blue glass for the water. Okay, and I've got peridotite stone on me as well, which this should actually be in there because that is for the bushes and the trees, and we use this colour palette to change the colour of the peridotite stone to this colour right here, art faded green mortar. And that makes it look like bushes and shrubs that you come across in the wild. So we have our basic tile. We have all the path pieces. They look a bit plain. I might have to improve these a little bit, I think. But we have here, this row is the oak and maple tree tiles. Then we have the river tiles. We've got some hills here. A couple of these hill tiles have meteorite craters in them. Then we have some hills with shrubs and plants on there. And then we've got some lakes and ponds. This one here has a bunch of cattails in that pond. We've got a little tiny waterfall going on here, which goes into that pond. And yeah, so that's what we've got going on at the moment. We've got an ocean tile as well. So we've got some ocean pieces, and these are the pieces that go around the edges that connect the water to the grass. Now, if you look carefully, these path pieces are specific Tetris-like shapes, right? T-junction, corner, straight, across. The trees are laid out exactly the same as these shapes, and so are the rivers. So just thought I'd note that and let you know how we're doing these tree tiles. So, well, we've got another bunch of tree tiles to do today. We've got some pine forest tiles to do. Bold cypress trees, redwood trees. And we've also got some floating land tiles to create as well, so that's going to be fun. But we'll do the pine tree tiles first, I think, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so we have our tile ready, and I've added a pine log into this tile. So we'll start with this cross shape first. So we've got a row of 4 trees down the middle and then 2 on the edges. So let's try and mimic that, right? When I get my butt in gear. So we're going to have one there. I mean, I suppose they can be staggered a little bit. Doesn't have to be too accurate, right? Okay, then we're going to have one there and probably one there. I think that's okay. We don't have to have 4, we could just have 3. Maybe if I shimmy those up a little bit, there we go. Now pine trees are quite tall. So how tall are these? Those tree trunks are 3 voxels tall. Probably, I don't know, let's make these 6 voxels tall. Let's see, yeah, because pine trees and redwood trees as well, actually, they're quite tall, aren't they, compared to the other trees? So I think it is a good idea. I mean, how tall can we go? We can go. Obviously, that's too tall, right? But probably let's have them 7 voxels tall. I think that's going to be okay. So let's put Heretoga on top of each one, and then I'm totally winging this, right? So this is raw creation, straight from the imagination here. I've not practiced this at all, so we're all in this together. Also, I migrated out here. I was doing these tiles inside the castle, but I had these lights everywhere and monsters keep spawning in here, walking across my face, and it's a little bit darker in here, so thought I'd migrate outside where I've got more space, it's more lighter, and the monsters don't seem to be spawning out here, so that's good. So we've got a bit more peace, right? Now I'm thinking we could do sort of like this, because it doesn't have to be super accurate, as long as the general shape is there. Okay, but I think these look like pine trees. But that's what I think. You guys tell me what you think. Okay, I think that's a good resemblance to pine trees. I know that sometimes they have longer arms of leaves coming out of them like that sometimes, but it just doesn't look right because we're working on micro size level. We have to just get the general shape. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to do 4 more of these. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so nice to have all this space to move around. Okay, let's get rid of that. Now I need to add the pine log into every single one of these as well. There we go. Now this Tile Wars game is based on another game that I've played in the past called Dwarf Romantic, and I'm sure there's quite a few games like that where you plop down your tiles and you build up your world. And you get tree tiles, land tiles, rivers, you know. So I thought, well, I could probably do that in Vintage Story. It'd be nice to have some games that you can play with other players in your world. So yeah, here we are. Now I think these trees look okay, so now what I'm going to do is put a ring of forest flooring around the base of each trunk, right? Okay, have I missed one there? There we go. Okay, So we've got some forest flooring going on here. So what I could do is make it a little bit more patchy, like a big patch of forest flooring. So let's get rid of that creative mode grass texture there. And just add a bit more ground shape going on here. Like so. And don't have to fill it all in, just... Okay, we've got a nice patch here, so let's just willy-nilly chisel away some of those and replace some with forest floor texture. There we go, see? There we go, we've got our first cross shape of pine trees. But we're not done. We need to change the colour of these leaves. So, let's see. We go deep green. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Maybe that will be better for the redwood trees, that green there. We could try good old-fashioned, what is it, faded green mortar. Okay, that does look better for the pine trees. I know they're the same colour as the oak trees, but a lot of the tree leaves are similar colours to other trees. There's only a slight difference in the shade of green. I mean, they're birch trees. I totally forgot about those trees, actually. Maybe I could add the odd birch tree into some of these ones. Anyway. So, we've done a cross, right? Now I'm going to do a line, which is basically the same as this. So what I could do is copy this, right? Whoa, next to it. Could copy this, and then all I have to do is just delete these side ones. Just save ourselves some work. It's called being efficient with your time. Okay, there we go. So now we've got a line of trees. Then we have, we'll do the corner in a minute, but now we have this T-junction shape. So again, we could use the cross shape of trees, which should be going here. Right, and all I have to do is delete this top tree over here. Okay. There we go. So now we've got the T-junction, the line, the cross. We need the corner now. Now we have to manually create the corner one. Well, that's okay because we know what we're doing, don't we? Or I guess, I mean, I could use the T-junction shape and just get rid of one of the sides. We could cheat a little bit, right? Because this is the T-junction, isn't it? So let's... No, we want this one, right? Okay, let's get rid of this tree. There we go. I could even get rid of this tree as well, actually. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got a corner of trees. Maybe I can just like get rid of this one and just move it over a little bit. Yeah, I could probably just put one like here or something. Yeah. Maybe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Shake the room. There we go. Done. See how quick and easy that is. Now we've got the corner of trees. We can sort the ground out in a bit on all of these tiles. So, you know we have a blank tile. What I've done with the trees to resemble that is have a tile full of trees, and that's what we've got here. So what I could do is pick up this cross of trees and add more trees, one in each corner, and then that's this tile done as well. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Okay. Get the texture. Zoom in if you need to. I love the zoom mod. It's a chisel man's best friend, I tell you. But there we go. Now we got our tile full of trees. We've got all the shapes now. Cross, line, corner, T-junction, full tile. Yeah! So, if we take a look at the oak and maple tiles here, some of these tiles have bits of land on them. We could do the same thing here. We could just add some land. Now, because these are tree tiles, instead of using light fertility soil texture, I'm going to use the forest floor texture and just do this, right? I mean, you don't have to think about it too much. You can just keep clicking, right? Like that. Maybe this one can have a hole, like so. Hard to get in the right position sometimes so you can see, but you get the idea. There we go. Yeah, so I can do that to all these, especially this one. Maybe this one could have water. What did we do with the other corner? Yeah, so that had water. Okay, this one then can have land instead, because I don't want them to all be the same. I want some variation going on. And we can just add like shrubs and stuff on top of these land piles here. Just add some more land here. You know how the vintage story game generates land? Well, if you've been out there enough, you know how the land looks when if you wanted to do something like this on your world. So you could just copy it. So we could just have like a little body of water here, maybe just a little one. Okay, let's make the edges the creative mode grass here, because glass in this game does a funny little thing. So in the last episode I added light fertility soil texture around all the water bodies, and the glass turned that texture invisible. But if I use the creative mode grass block texture, this green creative grass block here, it doesn't turn invisible. So yeah, it's a bit weird. So we're going to put muddy gravel on the bottoms, right, like that. Then we're going to add blue glass. There we go. So we've got a little patch of water in that one. Just a little tiny bit of land there. I could have it building up on the edges here a little bit. Just a little bit on the edges, because when other tiles connect to it, I don't want it to look a bit out of place. So we'll fill those in. We'll get light fertility and just go like this. So it doesn't look like a sandwich. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'll twiddle about these. and get them to look a bit like that, and then we'll get this row placed down. And we'll move on and start designing some floating land. Okay, here we go then. So I've added some little bushes and some shrubs to some of these. And also this T-junction piece here has a meteor crater in it, so that's cool. Also this tile of trees, the middle tree, I've lifted it up one voxel and placed it on top of a little raised patch of forest floor land, so that gives it a bit more character to the tile. There's a little dugout bit of land there, some raised sections, so that's cool. We've done the pine forest set, so I'm going to have to put this row over here. So we've got cross, line, corner, T. So where's the cross, right? Cross, line, cross, line, right, corner, T, corner, and there we go. And then the full tree tile. There we go. So now I can get rid of these. There we go. Alright. I'll probably move this to like here or something. There we go. So we don't need the pine log now. We can chuck that away. So we've got another row of tree tiles here, which is great. Alright, so land, floating land. Now what we could do is just quickly have a little fly. So I think somewhere over here there is some floating land, so let's go and have a little fly. Okay, here we go, Lord, here we go. Okay, so we've got some floating bits of land, but there's some with like water falling down. That's cool. We could definitely do that. Yeah, I say we make a floating land piece first that has water falling down into a little body of water. So if we take note of the stone textures here, we've got granite on the bottom, bauxite in the middle, and sandstone on the top, but that's because we're in like a desert biome. Yeah. So what we could do, because we're in grass, we could do granite, a little bit of bauxite, and then like low fertility soil or something like that. But they're all like, some are long, some are short and blobby, so... Oh, this one's got a tree on it. We could even do one that has a tree on it too. Cool. Okay, well, let's get back then. Got some ideas. Okay, there we go. Anakin Castle. I love this castle. I need to build a proper castle one day. Okay, so... yeah, I don't know if I've got enough space in here to add these textures. Let's see. So let's slow down a bit. There we go. Okay, so we've got granite and bauxite. Might grab this granite gravel as well. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's see if we can fit all these in. Let's put granite. Yeah, I think we can fit them in. So granite gravel, granite stone, bauxite. Yeah, and this can be the master tile for the floating land. Okay. I need to bring this chest over there. But when we get onto the desert deck, then we can do the desert looking ones. Let's put the peridotite in there. Probably need that again in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to copy this tile. I'm going to put this over there, safe. Right. Okay, so how high can we go? We're going to start with granite first, so let's go right in the middle. Right, let's go right in the middle. We don't need to do the cross, you know, the Tetris shapes here. Let's just see how high we can go. Okay, we can go that high, but we want them to be floating. Something like 5 off the floor or something. Okay. I'm just going to start filling these edges up, because we can work on the shape afterwards. Let's just... Whoop, whoop. Okay. I'm going to go a double. Fill in the corner. Yeah, so we can do this. We can do it. We've got this, guys. This is not too difficult to do, right? We can even, if I sit on the floor here, we can even give it some spiky bits. You know how it is in this game, and also in Minecraft, you always get them floaty bits of land in the air, don't you? So, you know how it goes. Okay, we've got a little bit of floaty land. Maybe it's a bit drippy. Let's get rid of some of these spiky bits. Yeah, we don't want it to be too drippy, do we? So it's sculpting. You've got to sculpt in this, don't you? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. We've got something. It's something. We could add some bauxite in there, just in places. Like a bauxite vein. Alright. We don't have to go too ham on the bauxite here. It's a general representation of floating land, so I think that's okay. Now we need a dirty top now. Let's go with medium fertility. Right, so we're going to go all the way around the top first. Like so. Right. And then just some of them we can just go like this. There we go. Okay. Now then, the top. Now it does look a bit flat on the top, doesn't it? So we can probably get rid of some of these corners. Like so. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Now let's try and do the waterfall thing, where the water's coming down. Make a hole there. Okay. We can make a hole there. We can have like a little waterfall going on. Okay, so that's going to go into that hole, but we're going to make the hole bigger. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, muddy gravel. Got to give it a muddy gravel bottom. Alright, we're doing it. We are doing it. Got to hard to see sometimes, so the zoom mod really does come in handy. Oops, I did not mean to delete that bit. Okay, now let's get the water, fill in all these. Like so. There we go. Alright, yeah, look at that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, now let's add some... We could add some land on the top. Just higgledy-piggledy, and then fill it all in, because you want a rough shape going on, as natural looking as possible. You can just twiddle with it. I don't know, maybe a little bit there. Yeah, okay. Now we need the bushes. Get the peridotite out, so we're gonna... That is peridotite, isn't it? It looks like granite. Okay, so we're gonna have a bush there as well. We're gonna have some little shrubs. You know, the berry bushes. Right, now let's change the colour of those. There we go, look at that. Our first floaty island piece. Yeah! I think that looks great. The next one we could do like one that's a bit bigger, or two little ones. Right, let's get this place down. Boom, look at that, that looks amazing. Wow. Alright. Boom, there we go. Alright folks, well, I'll leave it here for now. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please be sure to click that like, because it advertises my video to other people, and that's what helps the channel grow. You guys help this channel grow by clicking that like button. Alright, hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!